Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another video with me, Lau. Everyone settle down, settle in, settle down. Come in, come find a seat, sit down. Can you hear me in the back? Is my microphone on? Okay, all right. I'm trying a new thing because I watched the last video and I realized, why am I yelling? Why? I'm not really yelling, but the thing is I get excited. And I'm also in this presenter persona because I'm making a video for YouTube. I'm in my YouTube persona. And I'm also kind of channeling my mother, who was a teacher, and I used to go to her classroom and watch her speak in her projector voice, like her loud voice to the class. And I don't know why. I'm in that teacher persona, YouTuber, excited kind of vocal range, but it's not really enjoyable to listen to. And I'm trying to make more like long podcast style videos that will be more enjoyable. You can just sit back, relax, and just enjoy listening to my voice and, you know, practicing your English listening and everything like that and learning English, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to speak more in my natural, relaxed, calm voice. I'm going to try to and just speak close to the mic. Also, because I hear noise in the background because of where I'm filming, you guys don't really hear so much noise because of the editing, but I hear noise. And so I have this natural tendency to yell over the noise, but I need to just trust that I'm speaking into the mic. You're going to hear me and just relax with my relaxed voice. All right. Is it soothing? Is it nice? I know you guys really like my Learn English While You Sleep video where I'm talking like really, really quiet, but I'm not going to do that for this kind of video, but I'm just going to use my normal voice. So I am excited, not just because of that, but also because I have a new camera lens. I don't know if you notice a difference if you're watching if you're watching this video and you see a difference. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's super different, but it is a fancy, more expensive, supposedly better quality camera lens. So hopefully there's a big difference. I don't know. But anyways, if you're just listening to this video and not watching it, well, just ignore what I'm saying. But yeah. All right. So today we're going to do kind of like a part 2 video, like a continuation of the previous video I did, well, 2 videos ago. It was called How to Respond to, it was called How to Respond in Any Situation in English. Yeah, I believe that's what it was called. So this is basically just like that video, but more context, more situations, more things that I'm going to respond and react to. I am a native English speaker from the United States. A lot of you ask me about my accent. Where does my accent come from? Where am I from? I'm going to talk more about this in another video, but I would like to just say that there is a standard American English accent. Some people don't agree with me, but from my perspective, there is a standard American English accent, and it is the accent that you're going to hear most of the time when you're on social media, when you're watching YouTube videos of people from the United States, and even people from Canada as well. There is this kind of standard North American English accent that you're going to hear most of the time. Yes, there are people who live in certain regions, certain families who have strong regional accents still, like certain Southern accents, certain parts of New York, Boston, way up in the north of Minnesota. Yeah, and there's different Southern accents. There's like the Texas one. There's like the Nashville, Tennessee one. There's different. There's like Alabama. Yeah, but because we're so mixed, because we're so, a lot of people who live in the South nowadays are not from there, or their family, their roots are not from there. So they just talk like me, but they live in Texas. So yeah, most people, even living in those places that I mentioned, a lot of people still have a standard American English accent. Like they sound just like me. I have the standard American English accent. I grew up in Maine, But nowadays, especially with the younger generations, we're just kind of all starting to speak more the same. Like the American English is becoming more homogenous. Back in the time of my grandmother and even my mom, there was more regional differences. Like my grandmother has a very distinct Maine accent. I do not have it at all. There's like one or two words that I pronounce differently from being from like New England, like Maine, northeast of the United States. New England is the northeast region of the US that consists of Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island, those 6 states. That we call that New England. And so my grandmother has a very strong Maine accent. It's similar to like a Boston accent, but slightly different. And my mom had like she kind of had a Maine accent, but not as strong as her mother, my grandma. I pretty much don't have it. There's, like I said, there's only like 1 or 2 words that I say that people from other parts of the country are like, what? But generally, I speak the same as, I have a friend who grew up in California. I speak the same as him. I had a friend who grew up in Minnesota. With the exception of a couple words, she spoke like basically just like me. People who grew up in Florida who speak just like me, but maybe like a little bit more Southern slang. Like maybe they said y'all or something, which nowadays I say because I lived in the South for a few years. Somebody who grew up in Indiana who speaks exactly the same as me. Like I've met, it seems like every time I go on Instagram, I go on YouTube, I go on whatever these platforms, and I watch videos by people from the United States, especially in my generation. They speak like me. Most of them talk like me. So we kind of need to get out of this idea that, like in the US, there's so many different accents and where are you from? Which part of the country? The reason why you guys understand me so well is because I speak standard American English, which is pretty easy, which is pretty clear already. And then on top of that, I am very good at speaking clearly and enunciating. And I like to do that. Especially when I am doing these videos on YouTube, when I'm explaining things, when I'm teaching things. Often when people are explaining or teaching things, they get more clear. They will enunciate more. And what was I going to say? Almost forgot it. I did forget it. And also, I am a world traveler. I am a person who has learned other languages. I have talked to hundreds and hundreds, thousands of students and people who don't speak English as a first language. So I have learned to enunciate a little bit more, to speak more clearly. But also, I'm doing like a presentation right now. I'm doing like a YouTube video and it, so yeah. If you watch other YouTube videos of people my generation from the United States who are explaining something, teaching something, they are probably going to sound like me, and they're probably going to be easy to understand. They're probably going to speak in a way that's very clear. If you don't believe me, go search for those kinds of videos, explaining, teaching videos, people of my generation from the United States. You're going to find the same kind of English. And if not, you can comment, you can put in the comments like a link to a video that you found that meets the criteria that I said, but is very hard to understand and you think that it's different. I will take a look at it. But generally, I think, these kinds of videos are going to be some of the easiest content, regardless of who is talking. If they are from the United States, if they are in their 20s and 30s, maybe 40s, and they are explaining something, teaching something, and they have a standard American English accent, it is going to be pretty clear, pretty easy to understand. Also, Canada. I follow some people from Canada, and occasionally, once in a while, they will say a word with a slightly different pronunciation than I do. But most of the time, it's also the same. So, I just wanted to clear that up about why it's so easy to understand me and what is my accent. Okay. I grew up in Maine, but honestly, that has like basically nothing to do with the way that I talk because like I said, my friends from Indiana, California, anywhere, Texas, whatever, talk just like me, basically. So yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into the main content of the video. All right. I realize that I don't look at the camera a lot. I'm always like looking around because I do that when I think, but I'll try to look at the camera more. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so like the last video, I am going to read a sentence that gives me context. It puts me into a situation, and I am going to basically on the spot immediately without thinking, I'm just going to tell you what I would think and say in that situation, how I would respond, how I would react. Yeah, I have not looked at these, so I'm going to be reacting for the first time right now. So this is natural. This is real. Okay. So the first one, you forget why you just walked into a room. You forget why you just walked into a room. Okay. So this happens to me all the time because I usually have, I'm like walking around my house, my apartment, wherever I am, because I actually don't have a house or apartment. I am always moving around. I'm a digital nomad at the moment. So I don't have like a home. So I'm always staying in these Airbnbs or these, these like rental places, like for a month or two, short-term rentals. And so I'm always walking around and I have in my head like a list of things that I want to do, like, oh, I gotta switch my clothes from the washer to the dryer. I gotta take my clothes out and hang them up to dry. I gotta wash the dishes. I gotta make my bed. I gotta brush my teeth. I'm always like thinking about I need to do this and this and this. And sometimes I'm just thinking about so many things, and I walk into a room and I'm like, wait a minute, why did I even come in here? Why did I even, what am I even doing in here? What did I have to do? What did I have to do in here? And then I'm just like, my mind goes blank. It goes blank, like nothing in my mind goes white. And I'm like, well, I don't even know why I came in here. And then I'll remember it later. I'll be like, oh, that's why I needed to do that. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Your mind is thinking of a lot of things and you forget what you were doing. It also happens a lot with the internet. Like I go on my phone or my laptop to check something like, oh, I need to look something up. But then I get distracted because I see something else and I go look at something else. And then I'm like, and then I realized that I didn't even do the thing that I went on my phone or my laptop to do. And I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Wait a minute. I got distracted. I planned to just go on my phone for 1 second to look up something real quick. Where is the nearest dentist office? Whatever. And here I am scrolling on YouTube, watching something totally unrelated. And I just wasted 20 minutes and I didn't even do what I came here to do. I didn't even do what I intended to do. Jesus. Okay. Next one. You put your card in the ATM and forget to take it out. Okay, that doesn't really happen because usually the machines, they beep at you. They make the beep sound. So you put your card in and you do the things, you do your code, put in your PIN code. It asks you often like checkings account or savings account, or what do you want to do? You want to take out cash? You want to take out money? You want to see your balance? What are you doing? And then you have to choose like the amount, how much you want to take out. And then in my case, it'll tell me like this ATM is charging a transaction fee of blah, blah, blah. And then often because my account is with like United States dollars, so it'll often ask me about the conversion. Do I accept the conversion? And usually I always decline the conversion because that's how you save money. And it does a better conversion after you decline. And then, yeah, because I'm always international. So I'm always getting, I pay so much in ATM fees. It's ridiculous. I pay so much in ATM fees. I get charged by my bank. I get charged by the ATM, international transaction fees. The conversion, the conversion of the currencies is never really what I expected it to be. Yeah, so I lose a lot of money every time I go to ATMs. It's I just expect every time I go to the ATM, it could be like $20 in fees. And I don't know. I've just accepted it. I have applied for, there's this bank called Charles Schwab, and some of my friends from the US use it to travel internationally because they don't get charged fees to take out money. I applied for Charles Schwab and I was denied. I don't know why. I was declined. I wasn't allowed to open a Charles Schwab account. I don't know. I don't know why. I really don't. I don't have, well, I was going to say I don't have a bad history with banks or cards, but maybe I don't know. There was this one time that I just I overcharged one account that I had, and then I just stopped using it, and I never like paid them back or anything. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I was declined. I don't know. That was when I was like 19 though, and stupid. Like I wouldn't do that nowadays. But anyway, but yeah, I don't think I have bad credit. I never look at my credit because I don't really care, because I'm not in the US trying to like take out a loan and get an apartment. So I don't really need to have good credit, but because also I'm not planning on going back and living in the US either. But I don't think my credit would be bad because I never like I don't have credit card debt or anything. Like I've always paid things back and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I was denied. But anyways, I get charged a lot in ATM fees. You see, I'm getting really distracted from the original topic, but that's okay. You guys want to hear me talk about different things, and with English, it's good. It's good for me to cover a lot of topics. So, okay. So yeah, you put your card in the ATM and you forget. That usually doesn't happen because once they give you your money, once they I don't even know how you would say this in English. They see, native speakers, sometimes we don't even know how to say stuff. We're just sometimes we just make stuff up because we don't know what we should say. So, like the ATM, it gives you your money. Yeah, it gives you your money. When it puts out the money, the cash, and you take it. Usually before it gives you the money, usually it'll do the beep, 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 and you have to take out your card before it gives you the cash. And I think ATMs nowadays do that to prevent people from forgetting it, because that was probably a big problem before, back in the day, back a long time ago, not a long, so I'm sorry, not a long time ago, just maybe I don't know. Does anybody know? I'm only 28, so I don't really know. But does anybody who is older than me, do they know when ATMs started to tell you to take your card out? They started to beep, or have they always done that? Or was there a point like in the 90s, people just kept forgetting their cards, and so they started to put the beeper in to ATMs? Or I don't know. Does anybody remember when that had changed? Because I don't know. I'm too young to know. For me, it's always been like that, but I don't really know. I don't remember. Yeah. So that would never happen. You would never forget to take it out because it beeps at you. It literally won't let you. I think it won't even give you your cash until you take out your card. So yeah. Next one is you laugh at a joke you didn't actually understand. Okay. So you might be able to relate to this learning another language. Maybe, yeah, because sometimes it's hard when somebody is speaking a language that you're learning or you're not a native speaker, and they say something really fast and then they laugh, or people laugh and you realize that was something funny, or that was a joke or something, but I didn't get it. I didn't catch that. I don't know what they said. That's rough. But honestly, I never feel embarrassed about not understanding something. And this is what I always tell you guys and recommend for my students, for everybody. Everybody is don't feel embarrassed about not knowing something in a language or not understanding something. That's unavoidable. It's inevitable. It's unavoidable. It's going to happen a lot. And it's the process of learning another language, and it happens to everybody. So yeah, just be honest. Just be what did you say? Like, I didn't get it. I don't know what you said. I didn't understand the joke. Yeah. Can you explain it to me? Yeah. And that's great. Ask them, tell them, be honest. I always tell my students, look, if you're talking to somebody who is talking too fast or they're saying things that you're not understanding, please remind them, please tell them that you are learning this language. You are not perfect at this language. You're not a native speaker. You're trying to understand, and you need them to speak a little bit slower, or you need them to enunciate a little better, speak a little more clearly, because you don't understand, but you know a lot, but you need them to just slow it down or something. Please don't be afraid to tell people. Please remind people, tell people. If they have a problem with it, that is not your fault. That is their problem. If someone doesn't have empathy for you learning a language, if they expect you to be like a native speaker when you're not, that is their problem. Okay? I need you to be confident, and I need you to have this mentality like you are doing your best and it is hard and they need to help. They need to help you. Do not expect that do not take all the responsibility, because as native speakers, it is our job to try to explain things or speak in a more clear or slow way for you to understand. We can do that. That is easy. If somebody can't do that, that is their problem. They need to know how to do that. It's not hard. It's not hard to slow it down, you know? And also, if somebody doesn't understand, if this happens to you, like if you're the native speaker and the person is struggling to understand you, right? I want you to repeat what you said, but in a slow, enunciated way. Because oftentimes we know the words that you're saying, we just didn't catch it because you're saying like, brr, you know? But we know those words, but you just need to slow it down or speak more clearly. So first do that. And then if they still don't understand, then try to explain it in a different way. Use different words or a different way of saying it. And then maybe they'll understand. But I hate sometimes I talk to my friends in Spanish and like I didn't understand something and they'll just immediately try to explain it in a different way. But it's not that I didn't understand. It's that they said it too fast. I need them to say the same thing again, but just slower. So sometimes it's just about speed. It's just about speed. It's not even about that they don't know the words. They don't understand what the words mean. Okay. So yeah. But the point is that as a native speaker, you need to be able to be flexible with your language. You need to be prepared for when somebody who's not a native speaker is talking to you. You need to be able to meet them where they're at and make it easier for them if they need that. If they don't need it, great. But yeah, you need to be a little flexible as a native speaker. And as a student, you need to have patience with yourself. You need to have confidence, and you need to not put all the pressure on yourself. And you need to be honest to the native speakers and say, look, I am working on my English. I am trying. I need you to speak a little slower. I need you to do it. Okay. You could be real direct like that. You can be very direct like that. I give you my permission. It's okay. We're very direct in the United States. Okay. If you feel uncomfortable, you can ask a question. You could say, can you please speak slower? But honestly, if you want to get results, be direct. Say, I'm working on my English. I need you to speak a little slower because it's hard to understand. And yeah. And if anybody ever gives you a hard time, like if anybody ever says something stupid, like, well, you're in my country, you need to speak my language. I don't have to speak slower for you. I need you to tell them to, I need you to say, you're a Karen, and hang up the phone and walk away. I need you to just be like, this person is not worth my time and energy. Goodbye, fool. Yeah, just walk away. Just hang up, because those people are dumb, and yeah, don't waste your time. Okay. So next one. I get off on all these little side tangents. Okay. Yeah, this video, I wanted to call it like how to respond to everything, but I'm not even going to be able to call it that because I'm only getting through like a few things. So I'm going to have to come up with a new title, but yeah, I'll figure it out. Okay. Next one. You spill coffee on yourself right before a meeting. Okay. So you're drinking coffee and you have a meeting. Well, nowadays, a lot of meetings are online. So they wouldn't even see the spill probably. But if it's in person, if you have a meeting in person and you spill coffee on yourself, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, just laugh about it. I would just be like, you know, I spilled coffee on myself, guys. Look, like I said in the last video, you don't need to be so serious. Like, you don't need to be embarrassed about things that just happen. Like, laugh at it, laugh it off. Like, when stuff like this happens, we need to just laugh and, you know, like, just joke about it. Like, you don't need to be like, oh my God, oh, it's so embarrassing. I'm going into this meeting with a coffee stain on my shirt, on my pants. It looks like I peed my pants. Oh my God, what are they going to think? What are they going to think of me? Oh no. Now, you just need to say, haha, look guys, I spilled coffee on myself. It looks like I peed myself, but I didn't, I promise. That's what you got to do, okay? Yes. These classes that I'm giving, they're not even just about how to respond in English. They're about how to not take life so dang seriously and how to lighten up. Come on, man, lighten up. That's a good phrase, isn't it? Lighten up. Come on, Joe, lighten up. Don't be so serious. Lighten up. And yeah, it's about how to be, like, how to have a better personality and enjoy life. How to enjoy life. That's what I should call this video. How to enjoy life in English. Life in English is simpler than you might think. Oh, maybe I'm getting into some title ideas for this video. Okay. All right. Next one. Well, honestly, if I did spill coffee on myself, I would immediately be like, damn it. I'd be like, oh, great. You know, that sucks. Like, I don't even have a change of clothes. I'm stuck at work. I don't have a change of clothes. Great. Yeah, we complain a lot in American English. We do. I was talking to my Colombian friend about this the other day. He said how we complain a lot. A lot of our ways of communicating is just by complaining. Like, that's how we relate to each other. That's how we connect, is through a lot of complaining. Yeah, it's true. We do like to complain a lot. But here's the thing. Well, honestly, though, I've heard plenty of people in Latin America who love to complain also, or who complain a lot. I mean, it's not just like from the United States, you know, Europeans, whatever, like everybody, a lot of people love to complain in the Western world, at least. But yeah, it's kind of just a human thing. But what you need to understand about complaining in the US, a lot of the times we do it just, like, I don't know, just to like it's not that serious. Like, we're not like super angry or emotional. We're just like slightly, like, sometimes we're just slightly irritated and we just want to let off a little bit of steam and like, just, you know, whatever. But a lot of times we're not even really irritated. Like, a lot of the times we don't even think we're complaining. And that's really the truth. A lot of the times I don't even think I'm complaining. I think I'm just talking. I think I'm just observing things, and I'm just observing things, you know? You know, like, for example, I'm at a restaurant and the waiter forgot to bring my drink, or they forgot that I ordered a drink, and like a lemonade or something. I don't drink alcohol, but yeah, like a lemonade, let's say. This happened the other day, and I might vocalize. I might say out loud, like, oh, they forgot my drink. Yeah, he forgot my lemonade. Like, they didn't bring me. I think they forgot my lemonade. They didn't bring it. You know, I might like just observe what's going on. To me, I am just speaking out loud, making a mental note of what I am witnessing, what I'm observing, what I'm realizing. But somebody else might interpret that as complaining. But to me, I'm not even complaining. I'm just like, they didn't bring my drink. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal they didn't bring my drink. I'll just go tell them. I'll just go tell the waiter, hey, my drink coming, or the lemonade? Yeah, like I know it's just a matter of forgetting. People forget all the time. Like I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. Like it's not a big deal. But the thing is that some people might interpret me just vocalizing that they forgot my drink as complaining. But to me, I'm literally just like stating a fact. Like I'm just observing what the situation is. Yeah. Or I might take a bite of my food and be like, because I'm very critical about food. Because I like to be. It's one of my hobbies, like one of my passions is like to compare and contrast food. So I like to try a lot of different kinds of, I like to try a lot of foods and I like to eat out a lot. And I've traveled to a lot of countries. I've had a lot of different kinds of food and different levels of quality. And I like to pretend, like ever since I was a kid, I kind of always wanted to be like a food critic. Like I used to think it would be a cool job to have. And so I like to like critique food. But a lot of times I've been out with other people, or I've been around other people, and they think I'm complaining about the food and that I'm ungrateful. But it's not at all that. It's just that I really enjoy critiquing food, and so when something is good, like good quality, I will acknowledge it. And when something is not that great quality, I will acknowledge it. And I've had really great stuff. So sometimes I'll be eating something and I'm like, this isn't really good. Like I had a much better version of this like last month or something, or I had a better one somewhere else. And yeah, for me, I'm just like doing something that I love to do, like being a foodie, being a food critic, traveling around and trying different stuff in different restaurants. But for other people, I'm complaining, I'm being ungrateful. So the point of this spiel, the point of saying all this that I want to bring to your attention is that sometimes what you think is somebody complaining might just be them, just like they don't even realize they're complaining, they're just talking. Then maybe culturally, that's just a way that they have either learned to relate to other people, or they don't know what else to talk about, but they want to socialize and connect with people. Sometimes it's actually like something that they're passionate about, that they know a lot about, that they're an expert about, or they've had a lot of experience with, and they love it. And so they have high standards, you know? Like maybe somebody's really into cars or clothes. And so, you know, somebody who's really into clothes might be like, you know, they might be critical about clothes, but it's because they're like super interested in clothes, and they like to compare and contrast, and they like to rank and give kind of like a rating to like, oh, that outfit is like, I give that an 8, I give that one a 6, you know, and that offends people sometimes who don't understand what is going on. So sometimes people hear any kind of like anything except positivity, and they assume that it's complaining, it's super negative, it's being ungrateful. And sometimes that might be the case, but a lot of times it's not. And especially with people in the United States and also my generation, I've just noticed it a lot that, yeah, we just like to say like, we like to exaggerate. Sometimes we like to say like, oh, that sucks. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's silly. That's stupid. That's, we love to use these strong words, right? We say, oh my God, I hate that. But it's not really as strong as it sounds. It's actually lighter than it sounds. And to us, often it doesn't even feel like complaining. It's just like just an observation of, or it's connecting, right? So somebody might be telling me about something that annoyed them, and I go, oh my God, that sucks. I hate when that happens. And like for somebody else in a different culture, that might sound like a really harsh thing to say. But in my culture, I'm just relating to my friend. Like I'm just trying to connect with and support my friend who's irritated about something. So yeah, so I basically just want to challenge this idea of like, we complain a lot and, we're ungrateful or we're negative. Certainly some people are, yes. We call these people Karens or I don't know. Obviously there are definitely people who are ungrateful and they're spoiled brats and they're, just over the top complaining and stuff. But generally, it's just, we are people. I think in the United States, a big part of the culture is just being really like, and maybe you don't think so. There definitely is a lot of fakeness and phoniness, but I think there's a lot of us who just like to keep it real as well and just keep it real and just be straightforward and be honest. And we just don't really have we don't like have any resistance to, we don't have a lot of resistance to like negativity and complaining. Like for us, it's just kind of, for a lot of us, it's just, I don't know. It's just normal. It's just normal. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't explain it well. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to bring that up because we're talking about spilling coffee on myself. And yeah, I might have this big reaction, especially my generation. They call us the crystal generation, but we get frustrated very easily. And yes, I do think that this is true. We do get frustrated easily. But I don't know. I mean, I also watched my parents get like upset a lot, get angry. Like I grew up watching my mom get angry all the time. So I think I'm pretty chill compared to my mom, actually. So I don't know. I think it depends on the people. I don't think you can generalize about my entire generation is getting frustrated more easily or faster. But certainly, growing up on the internet, instant gratification, things happening very quickly. Like, yeah, sometimes we might seem like we get frustrated faster and we might seem more dramatic. Like we might spill coffee on ourselves and just be like, like we might like look like we're freaking out. But sometimes it's usually more, I think when stuff like that happens, when you spill coffee on yourself, it's not just about the spilling coffee. I feel like it's like, maybe you haven't eaten enough today. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're stressed. You're busy. You got a lot on your plate. You're overwhelmed. You got a lot of things going on. And this was just the last straw. This was the icing on the cake. This was the final straw. I think sometimes if we freak out about something seemingly little, it's because we had this buildup, this accumulation of a lot of crap just all exploding at once, all coming out at once. The cup just spilled over and because generally when I'm in a good mood, if I spill coffee, I'm just, well, I don't even drink coffee, but if I spill something, I'm just going to be like, whatever, I think if I freaked out about that, it would be because I'm under a lot of stress already. And so I think that's the underlying issue. I think a lot of people are dealing with a lot. And so, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be so quick to like judge somebody harshly for reacting or intensely or complaining about something sometimes. Cause I don't know. You don't know. I think everybody is going through a lot. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. You hear your name and turn around, but no one was talking to you. Yeah, that happens every now and then. I hear my name and or something. I think a lot of times it's not even my name. It's something that sounds like my name. And then I'm like, oh, who said that? Is it me? Is somebody? No, nobody's talking to me. Okay. Nobody's talking to me. Never mind. Next one. You forget to mute yourself on a video call. I feel like this is a repeat one from last time. I'm not sure. But yeah. Well, that would suck but it really depends on what you said while you muted yourself. Because you might mute yourself and then it's not that big of a deal. You just muted yourself because of something, somebody's talking to you or whatever. But if you muted yourself because somebody's talking about something that you don't want the people on the call to hear, then it could be bad. It really depends on what was said while you thought you were muted and you weren't. So that could be bad, or it could be not a big deal. Oh, next one. You get someone's text meant for another person. Okay. Oh, so if you get a text, but you're pretty sure this was not meant for you, this was meant for somebody else. Yeah, I would just respond like, did you send this to the wrong person? Did you mean to send this to me? Or did you mean to send this to someone else? Is this for me, or did you accidentally send this to me? Did you mean to send this to someone else? Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay. You realize you've been pronouncing someone's name wrong for months. Oof. This usually doesn't happen to me because I am pretty good at like listening to what people say and trying to pronounce their names correctly. But I would just say, oh crap, I realize I've been saying your name wrong for months. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, well, that would be weird if they didn't correct you. But I guess people maybe get tired of correcting people about that. But yeah, I would say, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I don't really have anything to say. I'm not going to try to justify it. I just messed up. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Next one. You forgot where you parked your car. This happened to me. One time I forgot where I parked my car. I really couldn't find it. And I was going up and down the streets. This was back when I lived in the US, when I had a car, when I was 19. I was in Florida and I was like, where did I park it? Which street did I park it on? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was like, I was in a place where there was a lot of little streets and I didn't know where, and yeah, in the city. And I was like starting to freak out. I was starting to freak out like, oh my God, I'm not going to find my car. I'm having a panic attack. Yeah. Nah, I don't really have panic attacks generally. I don't really deal with anxiety that intensely usually, but I was just starting to freak out, starting to get really nervous and scared that I was gonna not be able to find my car. But I met somebody who was walking around walking his dog, and he saw me kind of in a frenzy, just kind of like, where's my car? He saw me looking really nervous and scared, and he said, what's going on? And then I told him, can't find my car. And he just walked around with me and helped me look for it and just kept me company and helped me stay relaxed while I look for it. And that was really nice. Yeah, that was a nice guy. I'll never forget that. So yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I believe he was from Colombia. I was in South Florida. I was in Miami, and yeah, a random Colombian guy helped me find my car on the street. So yeah, very nice. It's my second time I've mentioned Colombians in this video. Okay, next one. You send a message to the wrong group chat. Oh, well, I would just say, oops, wrong chat. That was for my other group chat. I meant to send that to other people. Sorry. That wasn't for this chat. That message is not for you guys. Sorry. It was for another chat. It was for another group chat. I messed up. Yeah. Next one. You drop change and it rolls away under something. Okay. So you drop change. So like coins, which rarely happens in the US nowadays. One, because we don't even use cash that much. And when we do, we usually don't use coins. Like we just use bills. But I guess if you pay with cash and they give you back change. But yeah, it's not so common these days. A lot of times we just use card for everything. But if you do have some coins, or you're in a country where you use coins a lot, like in countries in Latin America, coins are very common. Not all countries, but some countries. Like here in Peru, lots of coins. Yeah, the coins in Peru are weird because the coin for the coin that has the highest value that I've seen, which is 5 soles. That's like over $1. That's more than $1. And that coin is not the biggest. It's like kind of small for being such a valuable coin. I'm used to like, because in Ecuador, they use the US dollar as the currency. And the highest value coin is the dollar coin, which I never saw in the United States. We use the $1 bill only. But the dollar coin they use in Ecuador. And that coin is pretty big. The 50-cent coins might be bigger, but the dollar coin is still big. But the coin that's equivalent to over $1 in Peru is kind of small. And honestly, it's also the coins in Peru, it's kind of hard to read them. It's kind of hard to see what they say, like what the amount is. So yeah, that's been a little hard to adapt to. I've only been in Peru for like a few weeks, but it's been a little confusing adapting to the coins here. Yeah, when I'm in Colombia, the coins have such little value that I don't even really use them. They're kind of worthless. So I usually just get rid of them. As soon as I get coins in Colombia, I just like leave them somewhere. Yeah, because 1,000 pesos in Colombia, like the $1,000 peso bill is like 25 cents. So it's like nothing. Yeah, I think in Argentina, they don't use coins anymore because they've had so much inflation that coins would be basically worthless also. In Mexico, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we use coins in Mexico, right? Yeah, we do. Yeah. Coins are pretty common in Mexico. Yeah. I'm going to Brazil soon for the first time, and it'll be interesting to see how are the reais. Yeah. Okay. So you drop change and it rolls away under something. It's a weird way of saying it, but so you drop change and in the coins, they roll like under the bed or under the something, like under something it's hard to reach. Yeah. I mean, if you really care, if it's like worth something, then you have to get down on your hands and knees and you have to try to get it, try to find it. But if they're not worth anything, if we're in Argentina and we drop a coin, you're like, oh, it's worth nothing anyways. So yeah, just let it go. Just let it go. Who cares? It's not worth it. Okay. Next one. You tell a story and realize halfway through no one's listening. All right. I'm telling a story and I realize nobody's even paying attention. Nobody's listening. I'm going to be like, all right, never mind. I'm not going to finish that story because you guys aren't even paying attention. If you want me to finish the story, you got to listen. You got to pay attention. You don't even know. You don't even know what I was saying. You don't even know what happened. You're on your phone. You're not even listening to me. You're not even paying attention to me. Remember, listening is like paying attention. It's not just hearing because they're hearing my voice. They're hearing my voice talking, but they're not listening. They're hearing my voice. They're not listening to me because they're not paying attention to me. You see the difference? So listening is hearing with attention, with focus. So yeah, I would just say, you're not listening to me. I'm not gonna, why am I wasting my time? I'm telling you this story and you're not even listening to me. Yeah, that's what I would say. Never mind. I'll tell it to somebody else. Okay, you run into your ex when you look like a disaster. I don't really care about that. I'm kind of friends with my exes and I would just laugh and be like, I look like crap right now. I look horrible, but nice to see you. Hey, how you doing? I don't really care. My exes, they see me all the time. Not all the time, but my exes have my YouTube channel and they see what I look like on the internet. Like they know what I look like. I don't care about trying to look good when I run into them because yeah, I don't care. I'm not trying to impress my exes. I don't care about that. Okay. You use the wrong word in a sentence and only realize later. Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you use the wrong word and you're like, but usually I realize and say it like right after. I'll be like, no, not that. Like I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say, no, it's not that. It's like this. That's what you do. You just correct it. It's normal. Native speakers, we often misspeak. So we're thinking the correct thing. We know what the correct English is, or what is common. At least we know what is, what we know what to say. We know what we want to say, but we misspeak. So sometimes we're thinking of saying two words and we combine them. Like in the other video, I wanted to say push and I wanted to say pass. So I combined them and I said like pash. So sometimes we do that. Or sometimes just what comes out is not what we were thinking for whatever reason. So that's just in a normal aspect of speaking a language. It doesn't matter if it's your native language or not. It happens to all of us. It's just kind of like a glitch, like a little like mistake between like a glitch between your brain and your mouth, and different. They're not in sync. They just get out of sync for a second, and that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I don't know. Maybe we'll do one more. I asked for a different context, but it gave me a lot of the same stuff as the last one. Okay, I'll do one more. So you take the wrong drink at a coffee shop. This means take, literally take. It doesn't mean drink. Some of you guys use take to say eat or drink. We don't do that in English. Okay, you don't say, I take my coffee at 8 a.m. We don't say that in English. Sometimes we say it to say like, I'll have, I'll take a coffee, like I'll have a coffee. But we don't say, when we want to say like, I have coffee or I drink coffee, we don't say I take coffee. Like it sounds weird. Like in American English, we don't say like I take coffee at 8. Like it sounds weird. It's maybe they say it in British English, but we don't really say that. We just say like, yeah, I usually have my coffee at 8, or I usually drink coffee. Yeah. We wouldn't say like I'm taking my coffee. We would say I'm drinking my coffee. I'm having. So you either say eat, drink, or have. These are the words we use to describe consuming the drink or the food. Eat, drink, or have. I'm having dinner. I'm eating dinner. We wouldn't say I'm taking my dinner. We would not say I'm taking my dinner. So when I say you go to the coffee shop, or what is it? You take the wrong drink at a coffee shop. So you're at a coffee shop. You're at a cafe. Okay, that's what a cafe is. It's like a coffee shop. Doesn't mean coffee in English. It means a coffee shop. So you're a little place that sells like sandwiches or whatever. You're at a coffee shop. You're at a cafe, and you take the wrong drink, like from the counter. You know how they put the drinks on the counter? You take the wrong one. You literally take it with your hand. So it's not drink. It's just you take it. You grab it. And you go to the table and you realize, oh, this is not my name. This is not my drink. This is the wrong drink. This is somebody else's drink. I would just bring it back to the counter and say, like, sorry, I took the wrong drink. I didn't realize this is not my drink. I'm sorry. Whatever. Yeah. You just have to take it back and say, oops, I messed up, made a mistake. This is not my drink. Yeah. I had the other one. Mine is the other one. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap it up here. Around the hour mark. I like to wrap it up. Of course, when I cut it down and cut the pauses out, it'll probably be less than an hour for you guys. Yeah. So what do you guys think? How's the quality? How's the audio? How's the visuals? How is the quality? Yeah, what do you think? What do you think of this kind of content? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to make a video about? What do you want me to teach? All right, let me know. And please write comments. I need you to write comments. So please write comments. I like comments. You can never write too many comments. You can never give me too many comments. They're very useful, very helpful. So please give me your feedback. All right. That is it. I hope you have a fantastic day or night, and I will see you in the next one. Okay. Bye-bye.